You are just the person I would love having in the office.
Okay, can I get settled? I just
Absolutely
walked in the door.
Taylor? Can I come and stay with you for a bit? Okay. Good dancing, Cameron. Well, that's busy.
Okay, stuff down.
I'm sorry. I know how that is when you're... I just wanted to get you guys some info. I know you don't have a specific diagnosis yet. I'm working on it. I've got a release into can you get some info on dyspraxia?
Yeah, we've worked with kids with dyslexia before.
Okay. When I came in yesterday, I had a concern. The other children were sitting and eating a cookie. I was 10 minutes off in the nook and could not eat the cookie because she put her socks and shoes on.
Okay.
So her food was being withheld or delayed.
Which is not something we're supposed to do. Right.
Please not, yeah.
Right. No, we're not supposed to do that.
Right. I know for licensure you...
No, it has nothing to do with licensure. It has to do with me. We don't withhold food.
Yeah.
So we do stop feeding children when they've thrown their plate on the ground 3 times. That's not
No, absolutely.
Well, the shoe and sock thing, I think you and I have a little bit of different take on it because I think Cameron can do it and I've seen her do it. She doesn't like to do it and she wants people to do it for her, but she can do it. She just doesn't like to do it. Is it difficult? Absolutely. Is it a challenge? Yes. Doesn't mean that we don't want her to do it. And she can do it. I've seen her do it. I've sat with her and done it. Sat for 30 minutes while she did it, so that she could go outside. And we're going to continue to do that. But food we don't withhold.
Right.
So
I think punishing her for lack of a motor skill is not going to be appropriate for her disability.
Yeah, I don't think it's, Sam won't see it as punishing. The food thing we shouldn't do, but not going outside, to me that's to go outside when you get your shoes on. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. And she does do it. She does it after she realizes Rebecca's really not going to put my shoes and socks on for me. She does it.
Okay.
Now, we do it with support.
And that's what I'd like to see because yesterday she was all by herself, watching other children. And that just broke my heart because that's when she has to focus even harder, that her dyspraxia kicks in even more and it's more difficult. When she's under more stress, the motor skills become even more difficult.
And I understand that. I do think, though, that Cameron can do a lot more than she does because she knows people will do it for her, including some of my staff.
And some things in there will tell you that it's not about her being lazy or manipulative. It simply is the dyspraxia. And I think that needs to be considered as well.
Yeah, I understand dyspraxia because we've worked with other children who have dyspraxia, and I've read about it. When you mentioned it in our conference, I thought, no one has ever told me that Cameron's been diagnosed with dyspraxia, and she hadn't been up until now.
Right.
I'm not saying she didn't have it, but no one has told me that.
Right.
So, so I did read up on it again, and I thought, okay, but I have seen her do things, but I've also seen her manipulate things, which is every child. That would be a typical child, wouldn't it? Any child. My kids manipulate me all the time. Right. So I have to constantly remind myself with my own kids who are older, they can do this. I just don't want to have to mess with it. So, and I think she can do it, and I've seen her do it. So I'm going to continue to encourage her to do that and have my staff do that. But we should not withhold food. Right. I agree completely with that. We should, under any circumstances.
No, not appropriate. I tell you, the socks she has on now, she cannot do because they are tighter and they fit weirder. So I would ask for today. I mean, and help and guidance. You know, put your hand here, put your hand here. Because if you really think about,
hard for her.
If you think about what it takes motor planning, because she has hypotonia too, which is, you know what that is, right? And her balance issues. All 3 of those things come into play putting socks on because you are balancing your body. That foot is up. This hand, on your foot. It's a lot. And when she is more stressed out, she's not going to be as successful. If someone is with her, not just, and I don't know how it's being done because of course I'm not here, but I think what I'd like to see is, okay, Cameron, we're going to help you through this, not just, well, you just
And that's what I did when I sat with her the one day.
Good.
I don't watch every minute of every day in every room, so but I presume, and I didn't see that yesterday, because that would have been something I would have said, hey, remember we don't do that.
Yeah.
I think you and I do disagree though, and I don't want to be, I think she can do more than I think maybe you do, and I don't think it has to do with, I understand dyspraxia and there are things she cannot do, but I think part of our purpose as a school is to work with kids to get them to do things they can do, and I think she can do shoes and ties. And I've seen her do them. Now maybe not today. I don't know what
Yeah,
size she is
please not
on.
today, yeah.
But I really, and I think that is a basic disagreement that maybe you and I have. I have never talked to Robert about it. He may have that same disagreement with me. I don't know. But you were, what in the meeting when we were talking, I heard a lot from you. She can't, she can't, she can't, she can't. I heard a lot. And from my perspective, she can, she can, she can, she can. And we want to work on we can. And
I'd
we
like
can.
it to be more positive and building on what she can do. A lot of the research is showing that kids with dyspraxia start off with a low self-esteem early. Cameron is more than aware of her social issues. She's more than aware that she can't be what other kids do. She's more than aware that it takes her 10 times as much effort to do one thing. So the more praise and praise and praise would be awesome. And I really encourage that.
Yeah, and I see my staff doing
Good,
that.
Jill.
Yeah, in the meeting I heard you saying we can't, she can't, she can't, she can't. And I'm sure you don't say that to her because that's not the kind of mom you're.
Right.
But I really do fundamentally believe she can. And we're going to continue to work on, yes, we can. We can, and here's how. Like I said, this
I think
is
that
hard
here's
for her.
how is what's important is that not just what you
And you
can.
feel like we're not giving her here's how from what you've seen.
What I saw yesterday really
One
was,
incident.
well, and I'm not here, you know, so I'm fully aware that I don't know what's going on.
And I don't always know either because I'm not in every room all the time.
But I guess just me not knowing, I would just stress that punishing in any way for a motor skill would be inappropriate for a kid. I think
And
we
lots
agree
of
on
other
that.
kids. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
We agree on most things, but
Yeah.
I think she is manipulative because I think she's typically developing in many ways. And every kid I know tries to get what they can get without doing much. And I think that's great that she's typical. I mean, I think that's great. I'm sorry.
Oh, absolutely.
Just a minute. The Reagan Center, this is Rebecca. Hey. Oh my gosh, Martha, we haven't even looked at that. Are you kidding me? Hold on, let me, well, let me look. Yeah, Vicki and I haven't even discussed that. So I can't, look. Do you need to know today? Okay. Okay. Well, we'll talk about it next week. All right, thanks, Martha. Well, but we need to decide, so, okay. All right, thanks. All right, bye. Well, I'll talk to the staff out here. Amy's not here today, it's her Friday off. Sheila's not here today, it's her Friday off. But I'll talk to them that are here today, and then I'll talk to Amy and Sheila on Monday. Because that shouldn't happen with any child. We don't withhold food, like I said, unless they've thrown their plate on the ground 3 times, and then they're done. They're finished with lunch. So.
And another thing I've learned that I didn't even know, because Lord knows I'm still learning about all this.
I'm learning about everything.
Oh, I know, exactly. Children with dyspraxia have a hard time judging their teachers, which
Right.
explains why she gets these infections.
Right, and why she bumps into things, and why she...
Well, yeah, it used to be called clumsy child syndrome back in the 80s.
Right.
So I think also working with her on, and maybe giving a, hey, get your arm out, okay, and touch your shoulder, that's a good distance, rather than she's getting in people's faces, That's a dyspraxic thing.
Right.
It's not, and it's her social skills, and there's a lot of things there. But working with her on that is really important to me, that we are guiding and helping and not so much punishing, as we talked about in the meeting.
Yeah, and I don't see punishing. She was in timeout one day this week because she pinched somebody, I think, or something. There was some
I
reason.
never heard that one.
It may not have been pinched. She was in timeout for summer, but I don't see her in timeout, which would be punishment. I mean, consequence.
Yeah.
I mean, I see teachers getting down and talking to her. You know, so and so doesn't want to play with you right now. You know, you can go away and come back later. Maybe they'll want to play then. I see that. I don't really see them lecturing her, but I'll pay more attention. Maybe I'm missing something. So,
It's just in a lot of her daily behavior, which I love. I love the behavior stuff. I love the pride. I mean, I appreciate the extra effort everyone's doing. I mean, I am very pleased. Just those two things really stuck out at me.
Sure.
When I was doing research, it's like, okay, the motor skills are not always up to her. And they talk about how, you know, every little thing was hard. So yeah, by the time she wakes up and she's had all this work all morning, she may not want to put her shoes on. Because every skill that's been easy for other kids all day long has made her exhausted. And sometimes it might just be okay to say, you worked so hard today, I'll help you yourself. I mean, we help other kids.
and we do that too.
Good.
We do that with every kid.
Yeah.
Cameron gets a look on her face when she decides, I'm not going to do this. She has this particular look, and you know, she'll just kind of look at you like, okay, I'm not. And then she'll get a really pouty, you know, look, and I'll say, Cameron, I know you can do this, so I'm gonna sit here and we're gonna figure this out. And then we do, and she does it. But with me, she knows Rebecca's gonna have me do it, and she's not gonna, you know, my pouty looks. I mean, and I don't know that you and I agree on. You may think that she doesn't manipulate that way, but she does.
Well, and I like hearing that you're saying, you're telling her, I know you can. You are a smart girl. That is really going to be important to build that self-esteem.
You can do this.
Yeah.
So.
Good job.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you.
Well, I'll talk to them, and like I said, two staff aren't here today.
Okay.
We alternate Fridays.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, thank you for talking.
That's not from them. That's just
That's
something.
from the internet, but is there something, have you said something about
Yeah, I
release?
sent them a list today so that you'll have a letter from Dr. Stroud explaining your diagnosis.
Yeah, we've dealt with Dr. Stroud a lot. So, yeah, a very complimentary person. So.
All right, thank you.